Welcome to Talk to Me. I'm your host, Brenda Warren, the Soulutionist. I see things other people often miss. I interview entrepreneurs, veterans, and authors. I help them turn their mess or their mission into a message for the masses. And today, I have a question for you guys out there. What do you get when you cross a mom of three with a pandemic and events and real life? You get my guest today, who has three beautiful children that may become part of this interview because that's how real life happens. My guest today is Ghayda. Look, I have been practicing her name for a week, you guys, and you know, here on Talk to Me, we keep it real. My guest today, Miss Ghayda Yaghi, is the CEO and founder of Charm Celebrations. She has been in business for over 14 years. She loves to create unforgettable memories that last for a lifetime. When you think of celebrations, she'd like you to think of explosions, vibrations, and fun. She is the guardian angel of events. She takes away your stress and anxiety for planning a celebration and makes it easy. She is, I said, is a mother of three beautiful children. So she has to be organized. She has to be flexible, and she understands. She has the compassion to impact and transform events that she creates. And I'm excited to have her here on Talk to Me today. How are you, Miss Ghayda?
Doing good. I'm smiling. I'm here.
You know, it's a fun thing because I think one of the things that we see on YouTube and all these different podcasts is everybody wants to pretend like everything is perfect and that we all get it right the first time. And the truth is we don't. And that's why I wanted to, even though the kids were talking and doing things before we started, I said, let's do this anyway, because this is real life, especially now in view of the pandemic. And with our country about to start opening up, I think people are going to want to begin to plan events. But as they begin to plan events, real life happens. You still have kids you have to take care of. You still have dinners that have to be made. We still have life that happens. And so I want to know, how does a mom of three still get to plan the most beautiful events that I've seen when I went to your website and talking to people with events that you have planned? How do you get to do that and manage your daily life?
Well, it's simple, Brenda. I'm actually glad you asked that, because it's a matter of priority. Because every time when I even was on Clubhouse and I was on Glenn Lundy's Breakfast of Champions, as everybody knows, I highly recommend that, because even though there are some of the wealthiest people on there, some of the older generations, they're always saying, you know, one thing I regret, it's not about the money I make. It's not about the sales I'm about to make or the clients I'm getting. Some of them on their deathbed are like, the one thing I regret most is not giving my family enough time. And they're growing like little weeds right now, because before you know it, they're going to be in high school and in college and everything of that nature. And so, and as we just mentioned, this is one of them.
Hello, how are you?
Say hi, sweetie.
Hi.
You'll play with the water gun later, okay, baby?
After 12 o'clock?
After your room time, because, you know, mommy has her room time and Lali has her room time and Nadim has his room time. And Salim has his room time, right?
So after our 2 hours?
Yes, after your 2 hours.
Can we have 1 hour just for today?
I will think about it if you go sit down right now.
Okay.
All right, can I have a kiss? Thank you.
See, and that leads me into where I'm talking about mama, what do you call it? Mompreneurs. I've been hearing that term a lot, and I kind of like the way it sounds. But that's the thing that I've noticed is that I was talking to another person that does these type of interviews and everything, and they were saying how much, oh, I hate when we call people and their kids are there, and I'm like, you have kids. You know, we pretend like everything is so tied and pretty in a bow.
Right.
And the reality is, if we want to do what we say is our vision for living our best lives and making our dreams come true, our kids are a part of that.
Exactly.
Because we're doing it so they can have better lives. So we need to stop pretending like they don't exist.
Exactly. And this is the legacy that I'm creating for them, because as I was mentioning before, when my daughter asked me a question, the one thing is not spending enough time with your kids. Why do you think a lot of kids are becoming bullies, are feeling neglected? It's not that they want to be bullies. They weren't born this way. They were born to love and care and be charismatic and be kids. And at the end of the day, that's the one thing. A lot of parents, they get so caught up. I'm full disclaimer to everyone that's working out there and working hard. I commend you. So don't think this is towards you or against you or anything of that nature. So for that, a lot of them feel this way because everyone gets caught up with phone calls and this and that. So when my kids come to me, the one thing I've learned is when I answer their question, they just go right, they get on their way. Answering their question, they leave you alone. But if you ignore them and I've noticed that's working a lot for me, because even if I'm on the phone, they're like, Mommy, I'm like, okay, sweetheart, what is it that I can do for you right now? Can it wait or this? As long as the question gets answered, they leave it alone. And then they leave me alone. And my daughter's messing with her little brother with the water gun. And I'm like, that's the scream you're hearing in the background. And that's okay, because at the end of the day, they are kids. Because a friend of mine actually was talking to me the other day, and he was saying, you can't control kids. They're going to be kids. So have a compromise with them, so that way they understand where you're coming from and you understand where they're coming from, because all they want is they're screaming out for attention. And that's what the bullies are doing. And when they start getting the attention, the love and the security that they want, like, for example, Will Smith shared a very intriguing information that I'm actually implementing with my own kids, like having a safety circle, because then they feel safe, they feel secure, they feel that they can talk to you openly without being scared of getting disciplined, without getting spanked or anything like that. That safety circle is to ensure their love and security, like they can ask any question. For me, my rule is you can ask what one curse word means, and then only in the safety circle. And out of that, you're not allowed to repeat it. Because I'd rather them hear it from me and my husband than go around the school and hear it from their classmates, from their friends, and everything of that nature. And I'm like, I want to be honest with them. I don't want to be I want them to be able to trust us and respect us just as much as we respect them. So
now, being a mom myself, I have mother hearing. So it's easy for me to block out when the kids are making noise. I know there are going to be some people that see this interview and say, we should have waited. But to those people, I say, get a life, because we have them.
Thank you. Now say to that, rock on.
And I think that I'm at that place. I think we talked about it before. I'm so sick of everybody trying to be perfect and, every hair in place, everything. I understand there's a situation where sometimes maybe you can't hear because if the kids are loud or whatever, but the reality is that if we stop doing what we say we need to do, we'll never get anything done if we wait until they're a certain age or they're in another role, or whatever. And I think there are a lot of women that are putting their life on hold because they're not allowing their kids to be kids, and they're not taking into account that sometimes, like you said, we just need to say, hey, you want to be on camera too? Give them a little bit of attention and then keep it moving.
Exactly.
So with that, what has been your biggest challenge as you plan events sometimes when the kids are maybe needing mommy's attention, or forget the kids, what about the husband? He's like, you've been on that a little bit too long. How do you deal with that?
Actually, I've gotten that really well. And I'm just going to ask them one question. Nadeem, And Lally, come here, baby. Come here a second. Look, sweetheart, I know you guys want to play loud and everything, but can you take it to your rooms just for an hour? Just go play together in a game room. Can you do that?
Yeah, but I'm taking this
How
away from
how about nobody plays with the water gun, please?
this one.
No, that's for outside, baby. That's for outside. Okay. Can we play with it later? Can you play with it outside? Yeah. Okay. Can you just go play with your brother and sister for now, please? Okay. All right. Yeah. Go get dressed and go outside.
And with the
Water gun near computers. There we go again. Real life.
Real life.
You just gotta, and going back to your question, the beauty of mom mode, I can instantly go back to my train of thought because I don't lose it, which is awesome. I guess that's the beauty of me having a good memory. So as far as my husband goes, I've been so blessed with someone so understanding, so commendable, and behind me every step of the way. And it's just natural to have such an amazing human being in my life. And from day one, he supported me, even while I was in the hospital during my operation and everything. He stepped up. He's always stepped up his game, and I'm just blessed for who he is.
And since you mentioned that, for the viewers that don't know, I know you recently had a surgery. We don't want to talk what it was, but having that and having to take a step back from your business, having a partner that supports you was instrumental in you getting your healing faster, getting the kids taken care of, and being able to even do this interview because you're only a few weeks out from that. And I know you also have an event that you're working on right now. Why don't you tell us about that event? Okay, so the event that is being worked on with my client, I don't know. Do you want me to disclose the name or? Yes, that's fine. Okay. If you're comfortable disclosing, or if you just.
Oh no, definitely, because I don't want to ruin the surprise. If you had it as a surprise for everybody and everything of that nature. So for the event, it's with my client, Mr. Kenneth Lazard, which you'll be
next week. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am. And then it's the Texas-wide Taekwondo tournament. I've been on sleepless nights. He's been on sleepless nights. We want to make this such an incredible event for everybody, for all families, all ages. Who doesn't want to see little 4-year-olds kick each other's rear ends?
Right.
And it's really for the kids, the adults, because with the pandemic, it's done so much. And to reconnect all these kids with joy and laughter. And that's a perfect example that you hear in the background, you know? Why do we want to take that away from them? And
And I want to mention that for those that may be watching later on, this is a situation where you were planning this event while you were dealing with your own medical issues, having surgery, having 3 kids, having a husband, and still preparing for other things that are going on. So like I said earlier, real life is happening and you're still making your dreams come true. And I'm so in awe of you because I knew what it takes for you to get to where you are right now, with all the challenges that have been thrown at you during this planning of this event, but you never wavered. And I think that's just an testament to you personally, but how women do. We have a lot of things that we have to juggle, and we often will continue because some other person would have just said, you know what, I got this going on. You got to find somebody else. But you were committed to seeing this particular tournament come full circle and to work out. And it's going to be happening in August, correct?
August 7th, 2021 at the George R. Brown Convention Center. And here's a little secret that not a lot of people know about. I'm going back into Taekwondo training.
Oh, well, congratulations. Being able to self-defend is very important. Are your kids taking the training as well?
I've been doing training for 29 years, and you know, I got to shout out the school I'm still training with, even though I'm living in Texas. My heart's with Black Belt Academy in Maryland. Guys, if you're out in Maryland, go check out Black Belt Academy. They do women's self-defense, because as women, just recently, actually, my husband told me the other day, a woman ran away, escaped from being kidnapped, and trafficking is a real thing, and
Yes,
we as
it is.
women and men and boys and girls need to learn how to defend ourselves. And the beauty of Taekwondo itself, it teaches you discipline, it teaches you perseverance, it teaches you confidence, it teaches you to be more confident. It helps you grow as a family. It gives you your second family, because Taekwondo isn't just a lifestyle. It brings you a new community. It brings diversity. You get to know all cultures, all diversity, from getting to know parents to seeing kids get to their black belts. It's just like stepping into the next level of your lifestyle. And as a person personally doing Taekwondo, my middle son, Nadim, come here, puppy. Come here. And this one is my son, Nadim, who does Taekwondo. Can you tell him why you love Taekwondo?
So we do a lot of blocks and attacks.
Blocks and attacks, and to defend yourself. Yeah? All right, thank you. That's all.
So would you say that the Black Belt Academy gave you your first start in Taekwondo, or did you
actually, full disclosure, going back to when I was 6, Master Nigel Chai Chung has been my instructor since I was 6 years old. I'm 35 now, 29 years.
So that's history.
It is. And that's the beauty of Taekwondo. They see you grow and blossom and flourish as a phoenix, from being a little kid to a person who's married and has kids. So it goes beyond the Taekwondo world, and it is an Olympic sport. And Kenny will go more into those details next week with you. But in my perspective, I'm a testament of the Taekwondo world, because I've seen him with his kids, and I've seen his daughter is actually part of the AAU Olympics, and her name is Kiana Chai Chung, and she's one of the most humbled and amazing black belts. Like we're like a second family, and to be well connected, to see each other grow. And he's like, it's crazy. We were joking around the other day. He's like, girl, you're so old. Because but 29 years is practically like,
that's your life.
That's most of my life. And I have a loyalty to Master Nigel for his teachings. And Black Belt Academy is one of the best schools in the nation, because they're an Olympic trained school as well. So, and the first school I ever did Taekwondo at, it was Kim's Karate. And then like as everybody got older, I don't know if Kim's Karate is still out there, which is in Greenbelt, Maryland, but I highly recommend Black Belt Academy. The way they teach, the way everything happens, it's just a way of discipline to teach you the 5 tenets, to teach you discipline, to teach you strength, and to teach you how to defend yourself when adversity comes. Or because in martial arts, it's harder to walk away from a fight than it is to fight. And I take that for the longest time. And it's true, because you need to pick and choose your battles.
So would you say that Taekwondo was one of the foundations that helped you be able to sustain your business, even in view of the adversities you suffered over the past few months?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because one of the Taekwondo tenets is perseverance, because there's 5. There's courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, and indomitable spirit. So, and I follow through for all of them. Never giving up, persevering and having self-control of to just stay happy and be thankful for everything that's happened. And just, you know, everything has a time and place and a reason that God has in store for you.
Mhm.
You know, and I truly believe that. I persevered through being cyberbullied. I persevered through that. I didn't let it stop me. Did I share my story? Yes. Did it help me gain my connections of where I am now? Absolutely. Have I forgiven the person? Absolutely. Because you know what? Holding grudges and holding these like this pain in your heart, it's not going to help you in the long run. It's going to hurt you because you're letting that person win. You can either be a victor or a victim. I chose to be a victor. I'm not going to let anyone take my happiness away from me just because of the way they think.
Now, let's move to the event some. When someone comes to you to get their dream event planned, how do you support them in that process?
I support them from day one. And I'm basically, like, for example, with Kenny, right? What I do, I coach them every step of the way, answer all the questions that feel that are unanswered. I'm very compassionate, empathetic, and understanding to the situation. When we first meet in the initial meeting, I know you either click with the person or you don't. So when you click with that individual and then they start shifting their mood or shifting their mindset, something's wrong. And they're not being their genuine selves.
Mm-hmm.
So as a planner, I step back, I ask them, okay, let's take a minute to step back, because as all events, it's a masterpiece, just like an art, because I paint. So I use my analogies of painting and working on puzzles, because when you put the pieces together, it becomes a masterpiece. And so with that, when people become stressed, not a lot of people see that bigger picture, in the sense that, okay, let me see what's going on. Let me see how I can help them transition from the stress that they're going through, because no one really sees what's going on behind closed doors. No one sees what's going on with their parents or with their spouse or with their bosses or headquarters or the president or the CEO, or I can keep going on.
Right.
But to step back and ask them, okay, let's take a minute. Let's see how we can resolve what's going on to better understand the situation at hand. And that's how solutions become built, friendships grow, understanding from both ends, because no one knows the pressures the client is going through, and no one knows the pressures the event planner is going through. So when you take a step back, you take a breath, and give me an example. For example, let's say you were under a lot of pressure from someone that's over your head. And I'm like, and you come to me. So let's do a little scenario here. I always love to role play, and then you can see it firsthand as to how I deal with the situation. So if you're up for it.
Okay. I'm planning an event for a birthday party, and it is for my boss's wife, and he's being a real jerk because he wants to micromanage everything. How can you assist me?
All right. So, well, I'm glad you're asking me this. So have you tried approaching him from a compassionate point of view to understand why he feels he wants to micromanage, why he feels it's so important to his wife for the birthday party to be so successful? Have you asked him a couple questions? Has he acted like this before this time?
No, not really, but it is her 50th birthday.
Okay. So if it's a very special birthday, so let's ask him, if you know he's never acted this way before, have you asked him why he feels so much pressure?
No, didn't bother. He's my boss. I just do what I'm asked to do.
So maybe reach out to him in a compassionate way and ask him, okay, I know this isn't usually like you, so help me understand why this side of you is coming out.
Okay. Try that.
And then let's say you try it and then you come back to me and you tell me.
Okay. So basically you're coaching people through the process as they go. So what kind of events do you normally plan?
I plan any and all. I'm basically one of the unique event planners that I plan anything and everything that a lot of planners do not think of planning.
Okay.
So for example, Taekwondo tournament, perfect example. Not a lot of planners would take that on. Why? Because not a lot of them understand the Taekwondo world. I understand the Taekwondo world. I understand the cars world. I understand the sports world. I understand a lot more events because I'm very athletic. I play sports. I love sports. I love Taekwondo. I love swimming. So that's what makes me unique and standing out, because I save time, I save money. And on top of that, I help you see the bigger picture at the moment when we're discussing it. I asked over 1,000,001 questions to help get to the core of what your vision really is. Where do you want to go with this vision to make it a reality?
So you'll plan a baby shower, a wedding, a birthday, a corporate event, or any out of the box event. So I take it you like challenges.
Oh yeah, without just like a 2,000-piece puzzle, that's a challenge. But you know what? It's only challenging if you don't put in the effort.
Who would be your dream client?
My dream client, that's a good question. I have to think about that one actually.
Doesn't have to be a person. It could just be like an event or something. Is there one thing you say, I always wanted to plan this?
My dream event to plan, I would love to be on that red carpet.
Okay, a red carpet event. Okay, how about if you had to, is there a budget that someone has to have to come see you, or do you just work within the budget that you're presented?
Exactly, because no matter how famous I get one day, I always want to be that one person that's willing to work with any and all budgets. Why? Because one, I'm approachable. And to be approachable, you have to be accepting and understanding, because not a lot of people can have champagne events where they can only have a beer budget.
Okay.
And oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, in view of what you know right today, what would you tell your younger self heading into where you are right now with Charm Celebrations?
What I would tell myself, that's actually a good question. Exactly what I'm doing. I'm on the right footing, and I would just keep inspiring all the young ones out there and to never give up. Even though there were a lot of event planners that told me, sorry, we can't give you this information, or we can't do that. We can't do that. But you know what? That pushed me to also get to where I want to be. I don't want people to feel that they cannot approach me and ask me questions just because one day I might become as up as David Sutera. And for those who don't know who David Sutera is, he's a celebrity wedding and event planner. So
you're part of his membership program, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I'm actually glad you brought that up.
How did you get involved with that?
Well, COVID.
Okay.
Plain and simple. So one day I was just looking on Facebook, and then I see Dream Challenge for it was like I forget what the challenge was. So I did the challenge, and then another blessing came into the skies that David Tutera was having a mentorship, and it's still going on for anyone who has serious inquiries about becoming part of that mentorship. He is him and his husband, Joey Todd. I have to represent my other mentor too, you know? So I had 3 different mentors. My really good friend, who's the founder of Rise Up For You.
Okay.
And Joey Todd, who gives you that mindfulness of being aware of your mental state of mind, and being able to self-care.
Okay.
That's what, and Joey and I have become very close. So I call him my big bro J-Man. He laughs every time I say that.
Mhm.
And with David, he brings to the table love, compassion, and understanding, and wants to see his mentees succeed. This community has brought us together as a family. So it's uniting planners nationwide, from California to New York to Florida to wherever, all over the nation. And we use our creative juices and we come together, from getting ideas of how to block hotels, or like room blocks, for example, or how to work together. And if someone has a creative idea, we don't ignore it. We celebrate it. We celebrate each other. We celebrate our growth. We celebrate our wins. Like today is Winning Wednesday. It's important to always celebrate the little things in life, because you never know where you're going to go in life or how far you're going to go in life, because it's so true to have a support system. And without that proper support system, you're not going to get anywhere in life.
How important has these mentorships been for you to make sure your business continue moving forward?
It's plain and simple. It's really the knowledge, because knowledge is power. The more you learn, the better you become as a person, and to become more well-rounded as well, because you don't want to go into something not knowing and understanding the bigger picture.
Well, it's time for me to ask you the one question that I gave you opportunity to think about. Tell me, how is, with everything you're doing with the kids, with the husband, with building your business, with going through all you've gone through this year, how is that helping you live your best life now?
It's helping me live my best life, because there's a part of me that is blossoming into something a lot of people are seeing. A friend of mine told me, she was like, I've seen you blossom from the very first day you started this mentorship. It's giving me motivation. It's pushing me to get to my target weight goal. It's pushing me to have a legacy for my kids, to see them happy, full of joy, full of life, full of energy.
How would someone get in touch with you if they wanted you to plan their event?
Well, they can find me on Instagram at charm.celebrations. Not charmed, it's CHARM.celebrations. And you got to bring some fun and laughter. So, and this is my logo too. So that's my profile picture on Instagram. It's my business logo. Okay. And they can also find my website, charmcelebrations.com. I'm also on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on LinkedIn. I have to think about it. Yeah, so I'm on all social media platforms. And just remember, no matter where you go in life, always remember to stay coachable.
That's good. Well, I'm going to ask you to stand by right now while I do my thank a veteran. And I offer you the opportunity to thank a veteran as well. What I'd like to always ask the people that watch is, please go to www.nevcc.org/projects so that you can thank a veteran. If you go to that website, you'll find 12 writing prompts. You can write a word, a sentence, a paragraph, a letter, whatever it takes to tell a veteran thank you. And at the end of the year, the executive director of the New England Veterans Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Lisa Descharme, and her team will put all those thank yous together in a beautifully illustrated book. And it will be placed into a gift basket full of goodies. And some lucky veterans will receive that book along with those gift baskets on January 1st, 2022. So if you would like to thank a veteran, please go to www.nevcc.org/projects and join the Basket Brigade. It's never, ever too late to say thank you. All right. Ghayda, tell me, do you have any final thoughts for our audience before we go? And for those moms out there that are saying, I can't do an interview because my kids, or I can't do this because my kids, what do you say to that today? Because I told you, it didn't matter if the kids came screaming, hand in the baggie. We were doing this interview because it's time out for being perfect and we need to stop acting like the kids don't exist. What's your thoughts?
My thoughts are this: lead with kindness, walk with grace. Because, and keep a smile no matter how hard you're no matter how hard your day is, someone else out there is having an even harder time. You just remember you got a roof over your head, clothes on your back, food in your stomach, and kids that are gonna light you up, keep you on your feet, and keep you smiling on your worst of days. But you know what? Support those who support you. Thank you.
And I support you. And again, I'm excited about this event that you're planning right now. And like I said, I just stand in awe of your perseverance to do this in spite of all the things that have been going on. And I thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this interview and to it not be perfect, because that's the thing about what moms do every day. They overcome, they adapt, and they make it happen. So thank you for being on Talk to Me. And for those of you out there watching, remember, the choices you make today will be the reality you live tomorrow. Choose wisely. Be blessed, everyone.